Chris.
Hey,
How are you?
I'm good. How you been, Jenny?
I have my glasses on and you have your glasses on.
Always, always. Can't see a thing without them.
I'm trying to get used to them. I've had them for a while, but I felt like the prescription was a little too strong, so I didn't really wear them. But then as has gone on, it's harder for me to see, so I have to wear them.
Got you. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've just gotten pretty accustomed to always having the glasses on. The only time I don't is when I go on stage. I put the contacts in so I can wear the sunglasses.
So you wear them like all day,
for
every day?
interviews, too. Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So like all day? Oh, okay. Because mine's more like, looking at the little words.
My vision is terrible. No, it's about far away. Like I could take them off and see you fine. But
Okay.
I got pretty eyes too. It's a shame, but
Hey, let me see your eyes because I
become
don't
part of
remember
the
what they
look,
look
though.
like. Let me see your eyes there, Chris. Okay, well, when you do that, like, a whole weird thing. Wait,
I
what
don't know if
color
you
are your
can
eyes
see 'em.
again? They're brown, right?
No, they're like greenish blue.
Oh, okay. I'm totally like, I can't even see it.
They change with the weather, like what I'm wearing. You know what I mean?
You're like a chameleon. You're a chameleon,
Yes.
Chris. Yeah. How are you doing during this time?
I've been all right. Just locked here in the studio. Got everything I need.
Oh.
So
Yeah, you've been making a lot of music. I see you've been posting all kinds of things. I know you have a new record with Pete Davidson.
Yeah, that one's killing it too. It actually just broke the record for most Spotify streams for a Chris Webby song in a week by like 30,000, 40,000, which is pretty solid. Yeah.
Well, that's dope. It's called Who Am I?
Yes.
And I know you guys have been friends for a long time. So tell me, like, why did you decide to do this?
Well, yeah, we've go back a couple of years now, and he grew up as a Chris Webby fan, which is just so cool to me. You know what I mean? He's younger. He's like, a good 5-6 years younger than me. So he grew up really like bumping my music. Reached out, I'm a fan of everything he does. I'm a big SNL guy, and then his stand up and everything. So we just kicked it a couple times and just hit it off. And he does great with the joke songs and this and that, but I wanted to get him on something where it's like actually fire. You know what I mean? It's not a joke. It's not like it's a super serious like bars record, but at the same time it's a banger. It's not like it's a comedy song. So I think that people really they didn't expect that from him, and he really came with the fire and delivered.
I really like you because your records, I mean, obviously I like you as a person, but your records are always so entertaining, like every single one. So when you're going a little bit harder, that's cool. And then when you're not, it's okay. Because whatever you're saying still makes a difference. And it's amazing. Like your music still, I mean, you must be feeling so great about everything you're doing right now.
Everything has been good. I really can't complain, and variety has always been kind of my I feel like my strength, but at a certain point in time it almost acted more as a weakness because people couldn't put their finger on exactly what I do, and people like to be able to put something in a box, and I'm just impossible to put in a box. But now that it's a singles landscape and it's just single, I just get to keep switching it up every couple weeks when I drop a song and give a new energy, a new vibe. And I think that it applies more to the single space than it did the albums. So
now I saw that you did a web sesh the other day with Pete Davidson. You did a fundraiser to help feed kids, which I thought that was just a really lovely thing you did. I saw Gary Busey was on there. Do you know I'm like a huge Gary Busey fan?
Oh man, Gary Busey's crazy, man.
That's my guy.
We
every character he's ever played, he killed it. Every character he ever played.
Oh yeah, and he's just such a wild dude. Yeah. So that it was cool, man. I'll tell you what, that was probably one of the biggest undertakings that I've ever done. Like I was deep in that broadcast, that web set shit for that was like 2 weeks straight, like 10-hour days, calling people, trying to, yo, I need a shout out from so and so. It was wild, and it like to get it so it was flawless and it didn't mess up, because that's streaming live, like that's some crazy business right there, and I know less about that. So we really I learned a lot of new things from that. But that's the world we live in now. It's a good time to learn new things.
We have had too, like me and Michi, we're all home. I'm at my house. I'm at my basement right now. I'm here, and Michi's at his apartment, and Craig's at his house, and we all get on the radio together through Zoom.
Yep. And Zoom is how we were bringing guests on. Like we brought Kevin Smith, MGK, Justina, Mercules, and Jelly Roll. We brought all them on via Zoom. And then we had a bunch of pre-recorded content, so we put it through this program called Streamlabs, and we were able to switch between the two. It's crazy. It was crazy.
Justina Valentine's going to be on our IG at 4:00 today. I called her, asked her to be a part of Feed CT. She's just such a lovely person. Of course, she said yes in 2 seconds. So why was it important for you to be here today to help out with Feed CT? Because we are trying to raise about 25,000 meals through Salvation Army to help families in Connecticut. And we're almost there. Chris, we're almost there.
That's great. That's great. I didn't even know that much about it. Fury just hit me. He says, hey, Jenny's doing a thing with charity. You want to go on live? I was like, yeah, of course. Absolutely. So, you know, the more details I know, of course. I'm a big charitable spirit, as you know. You know, like it's important, especially the more success you attain, to continue to give back. And, you know, pick your causes, what you care about. But right now, there's no doubt that humanity is going through some crazy stuff. And as much as I'm usually an animals guy, now is one of those times where you really got to think about your fellow human being and you know, the hardships that some people are going through. You know, I'm super lucky to be in a position where I can operate out of my house. You know, everything I need is here for the most part. Granted, the touring revenue stream is out the window for the year, but you know, now that there's Spotify and Apple Music and I can keep making music, so I'm not going to get hit as hard as everybody else, you know, in a lot of ways. So it's just important to really think about the effect that this is having on so many people, you know?
Yeah, I watch the news and, you know, where they do have, you know, where they're giving away the food to folks, they're saying like people are driving up, like these are middle-class folks driving up to get food for their families because, you know, like a lot of us, they're living paycheck to paycheck. And now, you know, with the loss of income, they can't feed their own families. And it's just, I mean, it must be a very, very awful thing. And I can't even imagine being in that situation. You know, I mean, I can't even imagine. Yeah. So I was going to ask you.
All crazy.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just, this is just a situation, you know, like scientists have predicted something like this could happen for a long time, but to really just see it kind of unfolding, it's wild. It's wild. Yeah. We were not ready for this.
No, we weren't. So I wanted, because you just mentioned the tour. I know you were supposed to go back on tour, weren't you?
Yeah, I was supposed to be on tour right now. I was going to be up in Canada, but it's cool. You know, we're going to make sure we push everything till next year, and hopefully things are in a better place next year. If they're not, then I think we got bigger concerns than whether I'm touring or not. I would imagine if things are still shut down in 2021, society is going to be erupting, you know, and the world as we know it will be changing even more dramatically. So, you know, again, you got to kind of remove yourself from the situation. It is what it is. I'm just one of many people going through this, and we got to have each other's backs, you know?
So I saw yesterday, like on TMZ, Chris, they're developing, this is like no lie, they're developing a spacesuit for people to go to concerts in LA, a company.
Wow.
I'll send you the picture. I'll text you over the picture, but it literally looks like a suit that an astronaut would wear. And this is just to attend a concert.
It's crazy. I have no idea how, I mean, no one has any idea. I think, you know, the big touring platforms, everybody, you know, they're trying to game plan and think about how it's going to unfold, but nobody knows anything, you know, and it's one of those times where who knows what's going to happen. You know, you just got to anticipate and prepare for the worst and be ready for whatever, you know. I'm ready to go back on the road. I'm ready to sit home and keep making music, you know.
So who were you supposed to go on tour with?
I was supposed to be out there right now with Annoyed, with Rook, also from CT, Spose from Maine, and Echo from Vegas. And we had whole tour. It was, a lot of tickets sold. It was going to be a good one, but, you know, what are you going to do?
Hey, I wanted to talk to you about Fred. I saw you posted for Fred the Godson, and I just love the fact that you brought up that old memory of how you guys met. So can you tell me a little bit about how you guys met, the full story?
Yeah, I mean, Fred's one of those guys, and I'm sure you know from just bouncing around New York City events.
He's so
you know, you would see Fred around a lot. Yeah. He was just a good dude, and he's a really good rapper. And I think a lot of people, up until, you know, what happened, which is fucking terrible, but I don't think a lot of people realize like how nice he was. Like he could really, really spit. And he shined, in my opinion, when he would get on the radio platforms, his flex freestyle, you know, like where he could really like stretch his legs and show people what he was capable of. I love those moments. He had a nice swagger to him. And it's crazy because we were kind of like got in the game around the same time. So we were in a lot of the same circuits coming up. So yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame.
Yeah, he was always like, to me, he's just such a really beautiful person, you know.
Yeah.
And he would come to the station and do like a really great interview, and he's super humble and fun to be around. If we did shows together, he's chilling, he's cool,
Yeah.
and he really was very invested in his family, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that all he really wanted was to just really become that big star, and he was definitely on the rise. I mean,
Yeah.
it was going to happen, and it's just a real big shame that he passed away. And
but
he
was one of
too.
the cool ones, though, and you know, that's something to really appreciate, because I'm sure, you know, not, of course, don't name any names, I understand the political atmosphere, but you've met plenty of rappers, they're not all cool. You know, Fred was one of those ones where you could just say God's honest truth, that's a good dude, you know.
Right, yeah, because he was a nice person. Some people, you know, they come out with one record and they become awful.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They're unprofessional. They don't take it seriously.
Yeah.
It's very, very sad. So, Webby Wednesdays, tell me about it. I know it's happening.
Yeah, it's been continuing. So this is the 4th year of the consistent single releases throughout the year, and yeah, it seems like every other week I'm gonna drop a new song every other week for the rest of the year. No doubt.
Is it tiring? Is it exhausting meeting that deadline each time, or?
It was a lot more tricky last year with all the touring. Like last year, there were a couple moments and we missed a couple deadlines, and you know, there was like one stretch where I think a song didn't come out for like 3 or 4 weeks, which, you know, isn't that big of a deal in the grand scheme, but I was, you know.
Well, yeah, because you're like, as much as you like to party and have fun, you're also kind of you know, you're ornery and you want to do things right. You want things to be on a schedule. You're like me. You like to be organized.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I mean, this year, yeah, there'll be no problem with that. I've already got enough music to get me to fall, so we're working like well ahead of schedule. I imagine by the end of the summer, I'll have half of my 2021 music done.
That's dope. Someone just asked whether or not you and Justina Valentine are going to be working together again. Did you hear me? Chris? Oh no, Chris is frozen.
My bad.
Okay.
I'm back.
Did you hear my question? Someone just asked, are you and Justina Valentine going to be?
Yeah, I usually like, it seems 2 of the past 3 years we've done a track, so I imagine like odds are in favor of that happening. Me and Justina, we talk a good bit. As soon as I got one where I'm like, oh, just Justina would be dope on this, I always make sure she gets a hold of it, and she always kills it, you know.
Yeah, she's super dope. And, you know, I always say this about you, Chris, and I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I just love how you embrace new artists, you know, younger people too. Like, there's not like a friggin' insecure bone in your body. It's just nuts. Like, a lot of people won't embrace anyone because they're scared that that person is better than them. And you're not that way. You've always just shown love and given people chances. And I just love that about you.
It's important. It's important, you know, and I think when you're younger, I wasn't always like this. I'm not going to give myself all the credit in the world. Like, when you come up, you tend to be real defensive, and, you know, because you're insecure, really, is what it comes down to.
At first, yeah.
And when you're insecure, those things are going to concern you, and you're going to be, you know, you're not going to want to share the light with anyone because you're so concerned. I've got another call. But at this point, I'm in such a comfortable spot. It's just, I've really found out how to be myself, you know, and I've really embraced who I am, how weird I am, and such and such. And, you know, I think one of the best parts of it is being able to lend a helping hand to people on the come up and help show people the way. One thing I found myself doing a lot lately is explaining a lot of these streaming services to rappers, especially some of the older rappers who aren't familiar with, you know, these new technologies and exactly how they work. So that's been a big thing. I've basically been giving seminars, you know, like just.
Oh, that's dope. So wait, who can you tell me a name, or no, you don't want to?
No, I don't want to, you know, like
I know you just worked with Be Real. I know you just worked with Be Real. So,
yes,
on a record. So on Ganja Man. So I mean.
But, you know, it's not just the older rappers. Like, I'm an independent artist, and streaming is my bread and butter. So I've studied this unlike most rappers have. You know what I mean? Most rappers have
Yeah.
managers for that.
Yeah.
Not that I don't have a team, but you know, I'm part of my own management team. I'm part of my own business staff and also the rapper. So it's really important to know these things. And I've like studied them very deeply because it's all about the algorithms and it's changing all the time. You got to know about this stuff. Very, very important.
It's a lot. It's hard to wrap your head around a lot of it. It's hard. So many people are calling Chris Webby right now.
The way I came up was like the Dat Piff mixtape days, you know, and like iTunes album releases, and how much it's changed is wild. But
well, everything moves so much faster now. Everything moves faster. So someone just asked, are you and MGK going to work together?
I wouldn't be against it. I wouldn't be against it.
Okay. Yeah, I love MGK. That's my guy right there, very much. And another person asked, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say you gotta respect the balls of a guy who retorts back to Eminem. So I'll give him that.
Yes, yeah. And also someone else just asked who was your biggest inspiration to become a rapper?
Well, interestingly enough, Eminem.
There we go.
Funny lead on there, but yeah, no, there's no doubt about it. I'm 31 years old. So, you know, if you recall 1999, 2000, 2001, what the landscape of hip hop was and the impact that Marshall Mathers had on the hip hop game. You know, it's like anyone who's from a different age range, you know, they can have their thoughts about Eminem and whatever, but I do know that during that time period, there was no denying that, you know, and as a white kid who is recently discovering hip hop and learning all these different styles from all these different places all over the country, and then to discover him, it was just like, wow, this is not only doable, it's doable at the highest level, you know?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Well, I'm so happy you checked in today. And again, all you have to do to donate some money today, it's super easy, okay? You just have to text feed CT to 71777. That's, you text feed CT to 71777. You can donate as little as $10, which by the way is 5 meals with the Salvation Army.
Dope. Text me that so I can do it. I'll do it too. You gotta lead by example, you know?
A lot of people during this time that we've been talking have been saying that they've been donating, and I really appreciate everybody that has today. It's just a really wonderful thing, man. We got to keep CT. We got to stay on our feet in CT.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I got a lot of love for Connecticut, you know that. So a lot of people leave, you know, in my line of work. Not too many stick around and fully represent this state for whatever reason. You know, I get it. We're not New York. We're not LA. We're not Detroit. We're not Atlanta. But we're Connecticut. And you know what? That should be something to be respected. And if no one's going to stick around and make people respect it, I will. God damn it.
I love you, Chris Webby. Well, thanks so much, Chris, for checking in today. Good luck with everything. Wait, is tomorrow a Webby Wednesday?
Tomorrow's Wednesday, but no track because the one came out
Okay, so the following Wednesday.
The following Wednesday and every other Wednesday from that point forward for at least the rest of the year. At this point, I may make so much music, I might just keep going. Why stop?
Do you know what you're going to release next week yet? Is it done?
Oh, yeah, it's already turned in. Everything mixed, mastered, cover art. It's already loaded up on Spotify. You got to be early on these things or else you don't hit the algorithms. You got to be turning songs in 10 days early. So, you know,
I need a seminar from you, Chris Webby.
I got you. You got my number. I can break all this down.
Okay, so wait. Can you tell us the record or it's a secret?
Yeah, it's called Story of My Life. It's produced by Scram Jones. And it's got his singer Xander on the hook and Millie's from Massachusetts on there too, from Boston.
Okay, dope. That's awesome.
Yeah, all right. It's a dope record.
We're going to look for it, okay?
Sounds good to me.
Thanks so much, Chris.
Absolutely.
Bye.
Later.